In this video, I'm going to show how you can use a Notion 4 external MIDI staff to send MIDI notes over to Logic Pro 10, where Logic Pro 10 is going to be playing a Kontakt 5 piano, and it will also record the MIDI. I'm doing this on the Mac, and I'm running Mac OS X 10.9.2 Mavericks. You want to start off and make sure that you have a virtual MIDI cable. This comes with the Mac, and it's provided by the IAC Driver, which is made available in Audio MIDI Setup. So you want to double-click the IAC Driver, make sure it's online, and you'll see that it has some ports. In this instance, it has IAC Bus 1 and IAC Bus 2. That all looks good. In your Notion score, you're going to create an external MIDI staff. I've already created one, and I have notes on it. This is the way you create it. If you look at the lower right corner, you'll see that there's a button labeled External MIDI. You want to click on that button, and then depending on which virtual MIDI cable you're using and the ports that it's configured for, you want to select one of the MIDI ports. In this instance, I'm going to use MIDI port A. I already have something on channel 1, so I'm going to create one on channel 2. Now, even though it's a single channel number, it will still come through as stereo. ReWire pairs, you get 2 channel numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But on the MIDI ports, single channels can carry more than one thing. Once you do that, you want to exit score setup. It's good to check in Notion preferences on the MIDI tab to make sure that you have your MIDI output set. In this case, I'm using MIDI port A, and it's set to output to IAC Driver IAC Bus 1, which is what I want to happen, because that's the virtual MIDI cable that's connected to Logic Pro 10. I've already copied some notes, and you can see that there's the 2 channels here in the Notion 4 mixer, but they aren't going to show any volume activity because there's no instrument connected to them. They're simply music notation that Notion is going to convert to MIDI and send it over in real time. The audio is all generated over in Logic Pro. Now, I've already set up a simple project in Logic Pro, and I have the Kontakt 5 piano here. If I click on that, yeah, it's a concert grand. It's using MIDI channel port A, channel 1, and that's what we want. And so there's that. Now, you can have more than one instrument in here. When there's more than one instrument in here, it's called a multi. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to record, and you'll see that the MIDI will show up here being recorded. Okay. Now we've recorded the MIDI. I'm going to double click on it. That brings up the MIDI editor. You can see the piano roll here. Over here in the right is a detailed list of all the MIDI messages. That's useful. We're going to be looking at velocity. I've got it set to use the velocity tool, and the way that works is that you click on it, you drag it down, it lowers the velocity. You drag it up, it increases it. Okay, and that's pretty much that. And I'm going to close Notion. And that's all there is to it.